What's up guys, welcome back, it's Dylan, RPD on my channel, welcome. So in today's video I thought I'd walk you guys through my swimsuit collection just because we are nearing the end of hot girl summer or whatever you want to call the summer of 2019, I don't know. But I did do a fair amount of swimming this year compared to the years prior to this, and I found that's because growing up I always had a pool, so I was always able to go swimming right away if I wanted to, and then I moved to places that had no pools, so I kind of had to find one, in other words, and that also involved kind of being around people where I felt uncomfortable with my body. The swimsuits that I had were not flattering to my body. It was a whole thing. And honestly, this year I will say that it's completely changed. I feel really great about my body because I've been eating healthier and working out more. Plus, I've also just found swimsuits that work with my body rather than against them. So 2019 is the year, I guess. And honestly, I thought I'd just walk you guys through some of them, show some pieces that I picked up, because I think they're really great, stylish, functional, plus very affordable. That is key. So if you like this video, go give it a thumbs up, subscribe, bell notification. Let's just get into it. Okay, so I realized when I was pulling swimsuits for this video that I still had swim trunks from like 5 years ago, and I realized the reason why I kept them was because they were like my good pair of swimsuits, and I never really got rid of them. They were just sitting in my closet hibernating, but I figured I would show them in this video because I do own them still, and this is a swimsuit video. So these ones right here are from American Eagle. I got these like 5 years ago, and I also got them in this neon green and navy stripe here. Definitely a moment, I acknowledge that. But I will say the reason why I liked these ones was because they were kind of like the first swimsuits that I got that made me really want to get into finding stylish swim trunks, because growing up, I remember swim trunks, they were like really long board shorts down below your knees. They left really weird tan lines, which again, I don't understand how we got into that era for the 2000s, like a very long swim trunks when you're outside all the time. I don't know. These ones kind of made me realize what I wanted in a swimsuit going forward, because these ones had the elastic at the back, and they also were a shorter length. They were like, for the time being, they were comfortable compared to what I was finding, even though you can hear how stiff they are. But the reason why elastic was so important for me is because I still have a muffin top, and I find when you don't have any form of elastic around your waistband there, it restricts it, and it really kind of like puffs it up and makes it look bigger than it is. So that also led to a lot of like body insecurities or just feeling really uncomfortable in public, was because I felt my muffin top being restricted and showing it more. So having this elastic really just helped me a lot in that time, really. But I also will say that it kind of made me realize things I hated in swim trunks as well, which was Velcro situation. I hate Velcro with a passion when it comes to a swim trunk. I find it is like never lines up properly. You're always worrying whether like it has come undone. Sand gets caught in it if you're going to a beach. So that's what made me and also this is perfect example. The laces that they have always get stuck to the Velcro, which is really irritating. And that's also the other thing I realized that I hated with swim trunks was the whole four lace up situation here. I don't like laces. I find when the lace isn't really like intertwined already, like it kind of makes you do it up for yourself. You're always kind of pulling it more than it should. So that's what I realized with those swim trunks. Now these ones right here, the green ones, they were like a little bit of a step up, which is why I got them, but they kind of had their flaws in their own way as well. Like there was no lining on the inside. They did have a snap right here, which was nice, but lining is very important. I think every guy knows that at some point, like having a lining to your swim trunk is very important, especially if you're gonna be a shorter length, just because you don't want things falling out. So yeah, that's why I'm including these ones in this video, just because they were kind of like the landmark or the little beginning of my swimsuit haul journey. So it was around maybe last year where I started to really look for good swim trunks, and the prices for some of them were ridiculous. I am not paying $60 for a swim trunk. I'm sorry, that is just like way too much for me considering how little I swim. $20 is usually the most I will ever spend on a swim trunk for the most part. Like, sorry, I'm kind of cheap that way just because I don't swim a lot. I think if I did swim a lot, maybe I would spend a little bit more, or if I was like really into like competitive swimming or something, that maybe I would do that. But for me, I'm like kind of cheap when it comes to that aspect for swim trunks, just because I think they always get ruined too. So last year when I was planning for my trip to go away in March, I was trying to find swim trunks, and Abercrombie, I know Abercrombie, I say it in every video, but the prices are so good. I cannot turn away a really good price. So these ones I got in December for my trip in March, or what, did I get them in February? January, no, I think it was like February or something, but finding swim trunks is very hard in winter time, but when you do find them and they are in your size, prices are very, very cheap. So these ones were actually around like 12 bucks, which honest to God is like amazing for a swim trunk. So first off, they're very, very soft and silky. Not like silky, but just like soft, I would say. And the mesh lining on the inside is really nice as well. It's kind of like in the shape of a high cut brief, which I really like, just because then you don't feel restricted or like have like too much going on there, closer to your thigh area. Has all around elastic, which I really, really like. And overall, it's a 5-inch short, which again, that's just like my jam when it comes to summer. The less fabric, the better. But I will never go to a Speedo. That is where I draw the line. But 5-inch, I think is really great. So these ones right here, I got in an extra large from Abercrombie, and that's kind of like the size I've been sticking with when it comes to shorts from Abercrombie, or swim trunks from Abercrombie is extra large, just because large fit, but extra large kind of hides my muffin top better. Like extra large, just like, it fit fine, but it was just kind of making my muffin top look bigger, and that's just the thing I don't want to show off when I'm shirtless. And then at the same time, I did buy these ones right here in camo, which there's really like, it's the exact same swim trunk. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I think the camo color is really great. I wasn't a fan of it for the longest time, but I think a camo swim trunk with like a pair of black leather sandals looks really, really clean and sharp. And then I also did order another pair, but this one I will fully admit was like a slight mistake in the sense of realizing or not realizing the faults or like what style it was, because when I was ordering this one online, I just thought it was kind of like a longer version of the ones I did get. So I just ordered this one kind of blindly because the price was really cheap on it. Again, I think these were around like $12, something along those lines, like very, very cheap. This one I bought mainly because I wanted the whole aesthetic of like that whole Baywatch lifeguard look and they just didn't have my size in the shorter version, so I did get the longer ones. But the problem with these ones is that it kind of went back to everything I didn't like in a swim trunk, just like modified for 2019. So these ones right here, the red ones, personally I'm not a huge fan of them, but I will wear them if I need to, just because again we have that lovely, lovely Velcro and the 4 laces here. Now this one, there's literally no elastic in this either, which is why I'm not a huge fan of it, but compared to other styles I've had in the past, this does fit better in the sense of not being so restricting in the waistband area, so I'm not like completely against it in that aspect. But yeah, I did get this one just for the look of it and sell that whole Baywatch fantasy there, which I'm hoping at some point I do find like a shorter red one because I think that'd be cuter. So this one's kind of like if someone comes over and they need a swim trunk, this is what I'll probably give them or something. And then literally maybe 2 weeks ago, I did buy 2 more swim trunks because again, Abercrombie was having a huge sale, so I figured I might as well just kind of like top up my swimsuit collection, because I think that's also another thing with me that I find, like when I find things that are really good pieces from a brand, I want to take advantage of them in that moment, because I've made the mistake of holding off thinking that like maybe next year they'll bring out the exact same one, and they don't, and I beat myself up for not taking advantage of something that it makes me feel good. So I did buy these floral swim trunks from Abercrombie in extra large again. This one I really, really like because it's all black, which I just love, like a black swimsuit really, but it has like this really kind of muted orange in the floral print, which I like. It's not like too obnoxious of a print when it comes to florals. So these ones right here are really cute, especially if you do like a black tank top with it and black sandal. And then I also got these ones right here in the navy and light blue stripes here, which I absolutely love just because it reminds me of that whole 70s Palm Spring aesthetic. Like I just love the color combinations in like a really clean stripe like this. Again, same features as all the other ones, is the exact same style. And I also just want to like highlight too, like the thing with the mesh here, I just really like how the mesh is a very fine mesh. Like it's not too wide of like a grit or spacing there, because I find sometimes when the mesh on the inside is like too open of a gap, things have a tendency to get caught in the gaps, which is not comfortable. So the fact that they made it a very thin weave or like a thin mesh is very nice as well. So thought I'd highlight that because I feel like guys don't talk about that enough. And then the very last pair that I got, which honestly I did not realize they were a pair of swim trunks until I started to wear them, which I think is like kind of stupid of me not to realize when I first opened them that they weren't swim trunks, but when I bought them, they weren't in the swim trunk category. They were like with shorts and everything else, so I just assumed they were a short. Plus, they don't show the inside on the image. So I got these ones right here, which I think they're called like a vacation short or something, but they honestly don't really feel too much like a swim trunk. They kind of just feel like a running short, and they have like the zip ups on the side right here. They also just look like a pair of khaki shorts in general. So the purpose of these ones that I realized when I got them, I was trying to figure out what they were, is that they're a short kind of meant to wear all day. So if you're someone who has like, I don't know, like something to do in the day and then you kind of go to the beach afterwards, you can wear these one pair of shorts all day regardless of what you're doing. So they are actually meant to be kind of worn as a day short as well, but they can definitely be worn in like the pool or an ocean. So that's what I really like. And again, they're just really, really comfortable. These ones are 7 inches and I got these ones in a size large actually. So yeah, so those are pretty much all the swim trunks that I got. I absolutely love what I have. The 2 first ones, honestly, I most likely will be donating those very shortly, but I'm glad I showed them in this video just because they show kind of like where swim trunks were and like where they are now. The swim trunks that I got are honestly very comfy. They make me feel good. I just like the colors that I got too. They're very clean, simple, and classic ones. They won't go too out of date like the neon pink ones. If you like this video, go give it a thumbs up, subscribe, bell notification, and see ya.